Got me? Oh, yeah. There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into tonight's ball game. Welcome into the Badger Den. Tonight we've got the visiting Milford Tigers out to play against the Wayne Badgers. Another Region 20 matchup here tonight in the Badger Den. Tonight we've got, like I say, the Milford Tigers. They come in with a record of 1-10. They currently sit at number 7 in Region 20. Tigers are led by senior Boston Sullivan. He's currently averaging 19 points per game, and he also averages 7.2 rebounds. Looks like the Tigers have got 3 seniors on their team this year, or 4. I missed one. They got 4 seniors. Meanwhile, over on the Badgers side, Badgers come in with a record of 10-3. It's good enough for first place in Region 20. They're currently undefeated in Region play, so they're currently the number 1 team in Region 20 and the number 2 in 1A, according to Max Prep. So coming in second place behind the Manila Mustangs. So pretty good Badger squad we've got going. They're led right now by the 3 seniors. We've got Blake Peterson, who's currently averaging 19.5 points per game. Hunter Robbins, who's averaging 15.6, and Tristan Martinez, who's still averaging that double-double per game. He's got 11.6 points per game and 10.8 rebounds per game. So Tristan's having a heck of a season. He had a really good game the other night against, who do we have here last? Was it Valley?
Yep,
Against Valley. He played a heck of a ball game and stepped up, and anyway, Badgers got a good win that night. So got Coach Stevens here helping me tonight. Girls came off a pretty convincing win last night over the Water Canyon Wildcats. I kept wanting to call them the Wendover Wildcats.
Oh, yeah.
The whole game isn't that what Wendover is too?
Yep, exactly.
So, but yeah, pretty good win for the girls.
Pretty good game last night.
So yeah, we're about 3 minutes from the national anthem. Should be hopefully it's a pretty decent matchup. We've had good ball games against Milford in the past. We'll see what Milford brings to the table tonight. So, Coach, any thoughts before we take a little bit of a break?
I think just watching the freshman game and the JV game earlier right here. There's I could tell the Badgers were working on some new things, trying to get coming into the second half of the season here now, trying to dial up something a little bit new for all these new opponents. So it'll be kind of interesting to see how some of that stuff works and some of the different lineups, and then also just to see how Milford responds. Because the last 2 games, the freshman and the JV game, was a little bit rough for them. But we'll see how it goes right here in this varsity game. So yeah, I'm expecting some pretty good things. There's some pretty good shooters down here on this Tigers team. So we'll just see how things pan out here in a couple minutes.
Yep. So we'll take a break. We're about 2 minutes from presentation of the flag, and so we'll be back in a couple minutes.
Welcome the Tigers from Milford High School. At this time, would you please rise as our cheerleaders present the colors? National anthem will be sung by Stetson Lamb.
Yeah, so we just got done with the national anthem, so we'll go ahead and introduce you to the starters tonight. So for the Milford Tigers, we're going to end up starting a junior, number 2, Marco Saavedra, and then also we're going to have a sophomore, number 11, Tice Barnes. We'll have senior number 15, Keisler, and then we'll have another senior, number 24, Boston Sullivan, and a sophomore, number 33, Slade Kessler. And the Tigers are coached by Mike Barnes with the principal of David Clough. So,
Number 24, Boston Sullivan. And number 33, Slade Kessler. Head coach Mike Barnes.
Then the Badgers are going to go ahead and start a sophomore, number 2, RJ Powell. We're going to have number 3.
And now the starting lineup for your Wayne Badgers.
We're going to have senior number 3, Tristan Martinez. Then we're going to go another senior, number 13, Blake Peterson. We've got a junior, number 24, Trayson Brown, and then wrapping it up, senior, number 40, Hunter Robbins. And the Badgers are coached by Coach Jackson.
At guard, senior number 13, Blake Peterson. At guard, junior number 24, Trayson Brown. And the guy in the middle, senior number 40, Hunter Robbins. Head coach for the Badgers, Jason Jackson.
So getting ready for the tip right here. Looks like Robbins is going to go up against number 15. That's Keisler Merriweather. So we'll see how we fare out of this tip. Tip goes up to the Badgers, dumps over to Peterson. Peterson dumps it down to Brown. Brown dumps it into RJ. RJ makes a nice little layup on the left-hand side. Give the Badgers a quick 2 points right off the tip. So the Tigers bring the ball up the floor. We've got number 33, Kessler. He dumps it down into Boston Sullivan, number 24, and he ends up getting another easy layup for the Tigers. So tie it right back up, 2-2. RJ Powell has the ball, passes over to Peterson. Peterson has a three at the top of the key, no good, rebounded by Barnes. Barnes going to push it up the right-hand side, guarded by Trayson Brown. Trayson Brown kind of stepped in his way, and Barnes ended up stepping out of bounds. So a turnover right on that fast pace come up the floor for the Tigers. So Peterson will end up having the basketball, getting the offense set, kicks it over on the left-hand side down to Brown. Brown looking, dumps it down to Peterson. Peterson cuts all the way through, dumps it into Martinez. Martinez pushes his way in, goes up, no good. Rebounded by Merriweather, and he's going to push it up the left-hand side as well. He loses control, and Tristan goes down and gets it, and Tristan got kind of undercut on the deal and kind of fell down pretty hard, and they just shake hands. He knew that he didn't do that on purpose.
Yeah, lucky someone didn't get hurt right there.
That could have been bad. But that's another turnover for the Tigers. So Badgers will have it. Peterson brings it up across the timeline, dumps over to RJ on the right-hand side. Looking into Robbins. Robbins has it back out to Martinez. Martinez over to Peterson. He takes a couple dribbles, passes it, skips it across over to Brown. Brown dumps it into Martinez. Martinez back to RJ on the opposite side. He pulls up for three and good. RJ Powell for three on the right-hand side. Badgers are going to pick up a full-court press. Throws up the number 2, that's Saavedra. He throws that right up into, tries to throw it up the court and throws it right into RJ's hands, and he goes down and takes it in for 2, and we got a flop warning on Saavedra for the Tigers. So he tried to pick up an offensive foul and ends up getting a flop warning called on that. So this is one of the things that we was noticing on the JV game, that the Badgers had tried to do this 1-3-1 press. And so we'll see how it works out for them tonight. In the meantime, we've got Merriweather has the basketball up on the top, gives it over to Barnes on the right-hand side. He pumps out, fakes, and gets those guys up in the air. No good. Blake Peterson falls down, kind of falls into him, and Barnes ends up falling down after he comes down and falls over the top of him. So Blake ends up picking up a foul on that deal. So that was kind of one of those it was kind of the same thing that Merriweather did for Tristan. It's like you just fall down at the wrong place, and you end up getting a foul out of the deal.
Yeah.
So Barnes has free throws. First one's up, no good. Barnes' second free throw is off the side, rebounded by Tristan Martinez. Blake Peterson's going to push it up fast off the left-hand side up to Brown. Brown pump fakes, goes down to the baseline, dumps it into Peterson. Peterson hits Martinez coming in. Oh, and now Martinez ended up kind of taking a hard dribble on the backside. That kind of looked like I'm not going to say it, but kind of looked like a little bit of a flop. But he ended up picking up the foul on that deal. So
Tristan came in there hard. I think it wasn't too hard to sell that one.
Yeah, that was coming pretty hard. So Tigers going to have it. We've got Sullivan kicks it over to Saavedra. Saavedra back to Barnes. Barnes brings it up top across the timeline, dumps it down into Sullivan. Sullivan kicks it over to Merriweather. Merriweather back to Saavedra. Saavedra drives it in, kicks it over to Barnes. Barnes pulls up for 3 on the left wing, no good. Rebounded Robbins. Robbins skies up over the top, busts it back down to the floor, down to Trayson Brown. Trayson had gone down there, missed it, and RJ Powell followed behind and got the putback on the rebound. So that was a great look from Robbins, throwing her down the floor, and Tristan missed the layup, but then RJ was right there to clean it up. So
RJ's got all the points right now for the Badgers.
Yeah,
all 9 of them.
So in the meantime, down here on this end, Sullivan comes down, throws it up, and misses the rebound and got deflected out of bounds for the Tigers. So it'll be Badger basketball as Peterson takes it up across the timeline. Right-hand side to RJ. RJ looking, dumps it over to Martinez, top of the key. Picks it over to Peterson down in the right baseline, back to Martinez top. Back over to Brown on the left-hand side, looking in for Robbins, not there. Back to Martinez. Martinez gets in there, and Barnes tried to get in there and get a deflection out of there and ends up picking up a foul. So that's going to be the second team foul? Second team foul for them, but that's his first foul. So Badgers have it inbound. Trayson Brown for 3 on the baseline. Good. 3 points. Trayson Brown. Sullivan has the basketball, kicks over to Barnes, top of the key, back to Sullivan. Sullivan looking, guarded by Trayson Brown, comes up across there. Oh, Pump fake, got Trayson Brown up off his feet, pulls up for three, no good. R.J. Powell goes up and kind of gets pushed by Saavedra, but still comes away with the rebound, kicks it over to Peterson as he takes it up across the timeline. Dumps it over to Brown. Brown dumps it into Robbins. Robbins going to go up strong. Puts it up over the top of number 33. That's up over the top of Kessler. 2 points for Robbins. And the Badgers get right back into their press. Sullivan has the basketball, comes in here, gets it deflected, but gets his own ball back, and then Trayson Brown comes away with it, runs right into Barnes, and Barnes is going to end up picking up another foul out of that deal. So that's his second foul. Number 32, this is Brecken Lamberth, is going to come checking in for him. He's a sophomore as well. So Badgers are up 14-2. 4:42 remaining here in this first period as RJ has the ball, dumps it down to Peterson on the right baseline. Baseline skips it across over to Brown. Brown throws it back up to Martinez. Martinez looks into Robbins, no good. Kicks it over to Brown. Brown pulls up for three, no good. Robbins just about had the rebound, but Saavedra comes away with it and kicks it over to Kessler, back out to Merriweather. Merriweather guarded by Brown, the top of the key, kicks it over here to Lamberth. No good. Rebound is kind of tipped around a couple different times. It's going to be white basketball, so Kessler and Robbins going up for both of them at the same time for that rebound. Both hands were in there in the middle of that and kind of throw the ball out of bounds.
Kessler's got to be a little bit tired. He's played in all three games so far.
Right. Martinez has it, dumps over to Brown on the left wing, back to Martinez. Not really to Martinez, but RJ runs it back down. Kicks it over to Peterson. Peterson pulls up for three, no good. Rebounded by Saavedra for the Tigers, and he's just going to bring it up across the timeline, guarded by Brown, dumps it over to Sullivan. Sullivan takes it, crosses over, might have got away with the double dribble. Pulls up on the baseline, no good. Rebounded Martinez, going for his double-double. He kicks it up the floor really fast for Peterson, and Peterson goes up with a strong left hand, scores 2 points for Blake Peterson. That gives the Badgers a 16-2 lead with 3:33 remaining here in the first period as Merriweather brings it up across the timeline, guarded by Brown. Brown had a deflection. Kessler ends up grabbing it, and then Brown ends up picking up the foul. So I think that's going to be his second foul, isn't it? Has he got two? Oh, no, he doesn't have any.
He doesn't have any yet.
So we're good. So we'll have Tiger basketball underneath their hoop. Sullivan set to inbound. Set out of the box set, coming with the cross screen inside the key. Tries to dump it into Saavedra, no good. Peterson ends up taking it away, throws it up the court up to Brown as he takes off on the fast break and ends up making 2 points for Trayson Brown. So, I mean, that's a great hustle play for those guys to just leak out and let those big men just throw it down the floor. So Merriweather comes across the timeline, guarded by Brown, switches over to Peterson, back to Saavedra, back to Sullivan. Sullivan guarded at the top of the key, takes a left-hand dribble, takes it back into the top of the key, goes up over Robbins. Robbins just about swatted down on top of him, but that 2 points for Boston Sullivan. So he's got all 4 points for the Tigers tonight as the Badgers have the basketball down on Brown on the left-hand side. Dumps it down into Peterson. Peterson into Martinez. Martinez back to Robbins. Robbins pulls up at the left elbow and puts in 2 points for Hunter Robbins. Sullivan going to come down across by himself. Nobody guards him, so he's going to pull up for two. No good. Rebounded by RJ. RJ's going to take off, going to go up there running up the floor. Dumps it over to Robbins. Robbins takes one dribble. We got another. Merriweather fell down, and I think he got a flop. So that was another flop warning, and that's going to give him a technical. So after you get 2 of those, they're just going to get a technical now, and so that'll give them that'll give the Badgers some free throws here. But then Coach Barnes wants to have a timeout. So they're trying to decide, they're going to go ahead and give him the timeout. We'll just go ahead and take that 30-second timeout. Oh, no, they're going to go full. So full timeout. So coming out of this timeout that the Tigers had taken, it's going to be Blake Peterson's going to end up shooting the 2 free throws for the technical. So then the Badgers will end up having the basketball back. So the Badgers are up 22-4, 2:22 remaining as Blake steps up to shoot the technical free throws.
Looks like Peyton Jackson checked into the game for the Badgers.
Blake's first free throws miss off the left-hand side of the rim. So Blake adjusts and makes the second one, and that'll give the Badger basketball on that technical foul. So, I mean, those guys are coming in pretty hot for the Badgers. I can see what those guys are trying to do. It's just, it's just a little bit hard when they're not really creating the contact.
You just stand in there a little bit longer, wait for the contact.
Martinez kicks it over to RJ. RJ pulls up for 3, no good. Rebounded by Robbins. Robbins dumps it into Peterson. Peterson back to RJ. He goes up strong, no good. Rebounded by number 33. That's Slade Kessler. Dumps it over to Sullivan for the Tigers as they come back up across the timeline. He's guarded by Blake Peterson on the right-hand side. Takes it down to the right wing. We also had Jexton Ashworth check in for the Tigers. Merriweather takes it down hard down into the paint. No good. Gets his own rebound. Just barely skipped off of the rim, and that would have been a travel. So Sullivan ends up getting it, coming down in the paint. No good. Throws it. Robbins comes away with the rebound. He tried to throw it down to RJ, but then Merriweather saw that coming, so he ran down there and ended up getting that interception on that long touchdown pass. So Tigers end up getting that turnover on that hustle play out of Merriweather. Sullivan has it, top of the key. Guarded by Peterson. He takes it down the right-hand side, kind of loses the handle, tries to throw it back over to Lambeth, and then ends up throwing it out of bounds. So another turnover for the Tigers. Rylan Hallow's going to check in for Hunter Robbins. Give him a breather. Coach Jackson calls out the play. Blake Peterson takes it down the left-hand side. Bounces it right off the back of Ryland's head, and luckily the Badgers got the basketball back out of that deal.
That's a big head.
RJ has it down, dumps it down to Peterson on the right baseline, back to RJ, top of the key, back to Tristan. Tristan back over to Jackson. Jackson flips it back to RJ. RJ fakes, pumps it over to Peterson. Peterson on the right wing. Good three-pointer. Blake Peterson. Then they jump right back into their press. Lambeth bringing it across the timeline for the Tigers, looking for Sullivan. Sullivan fakes Peterson and goes on the baseline. Pulls up, no good. Two Badgers, Rylan and Blake, tried to go get that rebound at the same time, and both of them knocked it out of bounds. So, both of those guys hustling after that rebound and end up hitting one hand off of one boy and one hand off another guy and throwing it out of bounds. So it'll be Tiger basketball underneath. Sullivan set to inbound. Dumps it into Lambeth. Lambeth tries to go up over the top of Ryland and Blake, and I don't know. I think they'll probably give that to Blake. I think because he came in from behind trying to swap. Nope.
They give it to Ryland.
Poor Ryland. he was in a great position and ended up getting a foul out.
Always go after the big guy.
Always find the big guy. So Brecken's first free throw's up and good. 38 seconds remaining here in the first period. Second free throw up and good as well. Ryland inbounds, gets it out to Peterson. 38 seconds remaining. There's a 3-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. RJ Powell has it on the left-hand side, dumps it into Tristan. Tristan takes one hard dribble and goes up and strong and finishes 2 points for him. And Blake Peterson ends up going full court press. Sullivan breaks that press pretty easy, dumps it over to Lambeth. Lambeth takes it down the baseline. No good, trying to find somebody to throw it to. There's Badgers everywhere, and RJ Powell comes out with it. 14 seconds remaining, dumps it over to Jackson. Jackson pulls up, no good. RJ catches it on the opposite side for a rebound putback. So 2 more points for RJ. That gives him 11 tonight right here in this first period. So great game for him. And then the Badgers got a little discussion with the referees. So Sullivan was driving down right here, and the Badgers end up tipping it out of bounds. It went off of Sullivan, so it'll be Badger basketball. 3.9 seconds remaining here this first half. Blake Peterson has it. He's going to do a step back, pulls up for 3, left wing, no good. So after the first period, we're going to have the Badgers 30, the Tigers 6. So it's going to be Milford basketball coming in here to start this second period, and they remain the same. And the Badgers come out with the same 5 that were on the floor at the end of that first period as well. Badgers are matching up, going to play man here. Oh, Tristan Brown came in. He's in for RJ. So we got Lambeth has the basketball, kicks it over to Saavedra. Saavedra down here to Kessler. Kessler takes a dribble back to the top of the key. No good. Back to Lambeth. Lambeth going to pull up for too long over the top of Robbins. Kind of intimidate him a little bit, and Jackson comes down with the rebound. In the meantime, Brown dumps one into Robbins. Robbins pulls up for 2. No good. Blake Peterson there for the rebound. Goes back up strong on the right-hand side. No. Bounces around. Good. 2 points. Blake Peterson. So Robbins went in there really hard on that one too. I'm thinking these guys now are a little bit. They don't dare do
they don't want to step in front of it.
Charge anymore, So Blake Peterson steps in front of that pass coming over to Merriweather from Sullivan. Takes a nice couple big steps. Takes a nice right-handed layup on the right-hand side for another 2 points for Blake Peterson. Lambeth has the basketball, kicks it over to Sullivan, top of the key, guarded by Brown. Brown dumps it back down to Lambeth on the right-hand side, guarded by Jackson. Tries to get it back out to Saavedra. Trayson Brown steps in front of that pass, goes up for a left-handed layup, and good. 2 more points, Trayson Brown. These Badgers are reading these guys' passes really well right now, just jumping out, though, and trying to get those passes on top of the key and going for 2 points on the other end. So great defense right now, reading the passing lanes and getting out there and getting some steals.
Well, and that outlet's working really well for him there.
Saavedra has the basketball, tries to go up over Robbins. Robbins blocks it, but he ends up getting his own ball back. Kicks it back over to Lambeth. Lambeth dumps it back down to Kessler. Rylan Howells just checked in. He ends up getting the steal. Dumps it back out to Payton. Payton doesn't see that guy behind him. He's going to take it down, does his nice little, tries to get his little extra step thing. He got caught for a travel. So sometimes he can get that where it's got a couple big steps. Looks like a travel, but it's not. That one got caught.
Yep.
So Sullivan bringing the basketball up across the timeline for the Tigers, guarded by Brown, top of the key. Dribbles through his legs, back through his legs on the right-hand side, still there. Trayson Brown playing good defense. Might have got away with double dribble. Nope, got caught. So he got caught with the double dribble. So they tried to dribble that back through his legs coming from the backside in, and got it, and then ended up double dribbling. And now they're kind of yelling at each other. So not good.
Yeah, they're frustrated.
So Tristan Martinez checks in for Blake Peterson. Jackson has the basketball, top of the key, kicks it over to Brown on the right wing. Brown looking back to Jackson top, back to Tristan Martinez at the elbow. Martinez turns around, pulls up short, rebounded. Robbins going to get it. Yep, ends up getting it. Kessler dives out of bounds. As in the meantime, Robbins dumps it over to Brown, and Brown puts in 3 points. Trayson Brown, that's 10 for him tonight. So that gives the Badgers a 39-6 lead with 5:32 remaining here in the second period as Merriweather has the basketball, top of the key, guarded by Rylan Howells. Dumps it over to Lambeth on the right-hand side. He's looking for Sullivan, not there. Tries to get it back to Saavedra. Saavedra has it, dumps it into Merriweather. Merriweather spins on the baseline, goes up, no good, rebounded Robbins. Robbins looking for the outlet, not there. Kicks it over to Trayson Brown. Trayson Brown looking for Coach Jackson to give him a play. They call a timeout. So we got 5:06 remaining here in the second period. Badgers up 39-6. So after the timeout here, it's going to be Badger basketball. right at the midline. It's going to move him back down in front of their bench. Robbins inbounds it to Brown. Brown takes it up across the timeline. The Tigers switch into a 2-3 zone here. Looking at their zone. So Trayson Brown has it right wing. Dumps it down to Tristan Martinez. Martinez into Robbins. Robbins goes up strong up over the top of 2 Tigers. 2 more points. Hunter Robbins. I mean, there's not much you can do with that when he can jump 2 feet over the top of your hands. You know,
Yeah.
What are you going to do there? So Sullivan has the basketball, tries to dump down to Merriweather. Rylan Hallows just about had the read on that play. Got his hand on it, knocked it out of bounds. So it'll still be Tiger basketball. Merriweather set to inbound. Right in front of the fans, dumps it backcourt into Sullivan. Sullivan brings it up on the left-hand side. Crosses back over to the right, back to Merriweather on the right wing. Waiting for the cross to come around. Kessler comes around, gets it on the right baseline. Tries to get these guys up in the air, no good. Rylan. Rylan was trying to come in and get him from behind, and he was in the right spot, just reached in and grabbed that. So that's his second personal foul. Blake Peterson checks back in for him. We also had Barnes check back in for the Tigers. Both of these guys they're running the play on the same side. So ball's inbounded to Barnes. Barnes dumps it back down to Saavedra. He's going to take it down the right-hand side. Ball's tipped a couple times by the Badgers. Dumped it out to Sullivan. Sullivan looks at 3, no good. He gets it back over to Saavedra for a 3, and Robbins decided to say, no, we're going to shoot that into the cheerleaders.
He just about took one of those little cheerleaders out of that basketball. That could have been.
That was coming in pretty hot.
Could have been bad.
So Barnes inbounds it into Sullivan. Sullivan takes it down the key, dumps it over to Saavedra. Saavedra drives it down on the left baseline, kicks it out to Merriweather, top of the key, guarded by Jackson. Kind of resets the offense, comes down the left-hand side, pump fakes, goes up for 2, no good. Rebounded Robbins, dumps it over to Peterson. Peterson looking to push the pace. Slows it back down as they set up their offense. Jackson has it on the left wing, dumps into Martinez. Nobody hustled back and got below him. Martinez takes a nice little drop step, left-hand layup, 2 more points. Tristan Martinez. I mean, that was a great look out there and great positioning. Trayson Brown going to end up picking up another foul out there trying to play good defense. He kind of bumped him with his hips. That's his second personal foul. RJ Powell is going to check back in for Trayson Brown, I believe. And we also have Ashworth checking in for Kessler for the Tigers.
Yeah, Kessler's got to be tired. He played a lot of minutes in those first 2 games.
That's a lot of basketball.
And he's just a sophomore, so, I mean, that's a lot of work for that kid.
Barnes has it, dumps it into Sullivan. Sullivan gets Martinez up off his feet, and Blake Peterson comes away with the steal, and he does these nice big two-handed Euro steps. Throws it up, no good, but Tristan Martinez there to clean it up. 2 more points, Tristan Martinez. Right place, right time. That's 6 for him tonight. Barnes has it for the Tigers. Takes it down left-hand side. Merriweather with it. Back to Barnes. Blake Peterson just about had it, but Barnes takes it back to Ashworth. Ashworth pulled up for 3. Good. So that's Jexton Ashworth, senior for the Tigers, pulls up for 3 points for them, giving them 9. So the score is 45-9, 3:06 remaining here in the second period. As Jackson has the basketball, dumps it into Peterson. Peterson into Robbins. Robbins double teamed, back out to Peterson. Peterson throws it right back into Robbins. Kind of mistimed the jump, threw it up over the top of his head, and Sullivan comes away with it for the Tigers as he brings it up on the right-hand side, dumps it over to Barnes. Barnes guarded by RJ. Takes it back to top, back to Merriweather. Down here into Sullivan. Sullivan pumps for Robbins, tried to get him up off there. Goes up, and Tristan Martinez got a little deflection, and RJ Powell comes away with the rebound as Blake Peterson takes it down the left-hand side. And he dumps it over to RJ, and Barnes was in a perfect position. Saw that coming from about 4 or 5 steps and ends up taking the charge. So that's going to be RJ's first personal foul. I mean, that was probably textbook on the defensive side for Barnes, getting into the right spot. Perfect position as they dumped that ball over to RJ, and he went right up over the top of him. So Barnes, basketball on the right wing, looking for Sullivan on the baseline, dumps it into Saavedra. Saavedra guarded by Robbins. Robbins gets a little bit of deflection, comes away with the rebound, and Blake Peterson's going to walk it up across the timeline. Blake waiting for the offense to get set, kicks it over to Jackson on the right wing, dumps it into Robbins. Robbins way up underneath the backboard, tried to throw it out to RJ, and Sullivan comes away with the steal. So that was a couple bad passes all the way around right there as Sullivan tries to do a reversal. No good, rebounded by Barnes. Barnes goes up strong, not there. Tipped around a couple times. Jackson comes away with it, dumps it out to Blake Peterson, and Coach Jackson's telling him to just kind of take it up across the floor and run their offense. So R.J. Powell has the ball on the left wing, dumps it over to Robbins, top of the key, looks into Tristan. Tristan pulls up, does a nice little spin. 2 points, Tristan Martinez. That was great ball movement there on the Badgers, looking for the open spot, and Tristan happened to find it.
Yep.
Sullivan has the basketball for the Tigers, dumps it over to Barnes on the right-hand side. Looking for that pass, throws it up over to Sullivan. That was a pretty high pass, but he ended up coming away with it. Back to Barnes. Barnes looking, takes it down into the free throw line, not there. Dumps it over to Saavedra. Saavedra takes a couple dribbles, not there. Dumps it over to Merriweather. Merriweather pump fakes, tries to get those guys up off their feet. Kind of takes a nice little dribble, steps back on the inside of the court and puts it up for 2 points for him. So that's his first bucket of the night for Merriweather. As Jackson has the basketball, Blake Peterson has it in the wing, skips it over to RJ. RJ back to Tristan. Tristan back to Peterson. Peterson looks into Robbins, and then he cuts off that pass, and Robbins finds him on the cut, and a nice little easy bucket for Peterson. So that was a great look on Robbins' part. You know, he went up high, got that pass, and Blake cut right behind the pass and ended up getting a nice easy bucket out of that deal. Barnes has the basketball for the Tigers, top of the key over to Merriweather. On the left-hand side, back to Barnes. Barnes looking in to Ashworth. Ashworth goes up, does kind of a little half hook shot, ends up getting his own rebound on there, puts it back up again, and no good. Rebounded by Robbins, and Robbins pushes it back out to Peterson as he sets up the offense back again. RJ has it on the left wing. He's going to take a couple dribbles. Oh, and Barnes, gosh, poor Barnes. He's in the, he tried to get it. Had just about had a steal, had his hand on the ball, but ends up getting a reach. That he's going to pick up his third foul, so he's going to have to sit down with 10 seconds remaining here in this first half.
They're not real super obvious fouls. I mean, he's playing aggressively, trying to do what he can to stop the Badger offense. He's getting caught a little bit.
Lamberth checks in for him. In the meantime, the Badgers try to inbound it on Robbins. Robbins goes down and spins on the baseline there and tries to get sealed, and a couple of the Tigers end up getting their hands on the ball and knocked it back out of bounds. So it's going to be Badger basketball once again. RJ has it, dumps it over to Jackson, and Jackson kicks it over to Peterson, and Peterson pulls up for a three, no good. Merriweather comes away with the rebound, tries to throw a half court at the buzzer, wouldn't have counted at the air. So here we are at the halftime. Badgers are going to be 49-11.
We'll be back. Wayne High School cheerleaders. They're headed to region tomorrow and Saturday. We wish them luck as they head into competition season. I know region is tomorrow down in St. George, and I'm not sure when state is, but it's coming up, so we wish them luck.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Principal Chappell's
tomorrow,
coming out
cheerleaders are gonna
to
go
recognize
compete in the region tournament.
a few people.
We want to wish them luck, so let's give them a good cheer. I also wanted to take a minute to recognize some of our athletes from our fall sports who received recognitions on the region and state level. And so, as I call your name, if you please come out, we want to recognize some in both volleyball and baseball. So, first of all, in volleyball, we had Maddie Jacobson, who received Academic All-Region and All-State Honorable Mention. Congratulations. Also, Oakley Bryan received Academic All-Region and All-State Honorable Mention. Chloe Stewart, Academic All-Region, and All-State Honorable Mention. And finally, Timber Wood received Academic All-Region, third team All-State, and Academic All-State. All right, in baseball, Miles Hinkle received Academic All-Region and Academic All-State. He dresses like this every day. Hunter Robbins was second team All-State in baseball. And finally, Blake Peterson was All-Region and first team All-State. Let's give one more round of applause for that.
So a little bit of recognition for our fall athletes for all region and all state, both volleyball and basketball. We congratulate those kids and probably have a few more as soon as the winter sports wrap up.
Yeah, good for them.
All right, read off a few stats here. We got about 3 minutes. Looks like, unless they put some more time on the clock, but I don't know if they will or not. But we got about 3 minutes. We'll go through some stats. So on the 11 points for the Tigers, I've got Boston Sullivan with 4, Keisler Merriweather with 2, Jackson Ashworth with 3, and Brecken Lambeth with 2. I believe that adds up to 11 points. Over on the Badgers side, pretty good scoring for all of the Badgers. Got Hunter Robbins has got 8 points. Trayson Brown's in there with 10. Blake Peterson, let's see what they got him. They got 12. I didn't want to do the math in my head, so I looked up at the board. RJ Powell, he's up there with 11. Great game for him. And Tristan Martinez has got 8 points. And I've been keeping track of his rebounds. I want to see if he can get to that double-double mark again tonight. I've unofficially got him at 3. I think I might have missed one. But, yeah, a great all-around scoring and defense for the Badgers. They're running that press, disrupting everything that the Tigers are trying to do. I think the Tigers are just trying to get through this game. And, pretty tough Badger team right now.
Yeah, this is, these Badgers coming in here was a pretty tough team before when they were playing their man defense or when they'd switch in a little bit out of their zone, and now they throw that 1-3-1 press in the middle of that. These guys are long, they're tall, they're athletic. I mean, that's pretty hard to get some passes around there. They're reading the passes pretty well, jumping the gun, going and getting a bunch, and then on this fast break stuff that they're doing right now is pretty impressive. And they're going down. They're not missing very many layups down there when they get that fast break either.
Yeah, that fast break's been something they've been working on all season. Right. Trayson Brown's usually a quick outlet, and RJ's been doing it tonight, and they're getting it dialed in. And
Yeah, that's hard. I mean, that's like you turn around, you try to stop one thing, and you get hit from the other side. It's like, man, that's a little bit rough. So right now, pretty impressive watching these Badgers play basketball right now.
So I think with the score the way it is, we got the Badgers ahead by more than 30 at the half. Or they'll do the mercy rule, so the clock will run from just with the exception of foul shots and timeouts. So mercy rule in place for the remainder of the game. Even if they claw back within 30, they'll still keep that mercy rule in place. So
yeah, they just changed that this year. Last year it was after the third period, and now this year they've switched it down to after halftime. So this second half of this basketball game will probably go pretty fast. So
some pretty high-power offenses on both the girls and boys. We had the girls in the mercy rule last night against their opponent, and tonight we've got the boys. So some pretty good teams the Badgers are fielding right now on the court.
Yeah, it's good. Pretty good time right now. Pretty fun. See how the remainder of the season comes about,
Yep.
So we're getting set here. A couple seconds left. Getting ready to go here on the second half of this basketball game. It's going to be Badger basketball. They inbound this time. So on the start of here of this third period. So the Badgers are up 49-11. And the Badgers go back to their same starters that we had, and so does Tabiona. I mean, not Tabiona. The Tigers. The wrong Tigers.
Guess which team's on Coach Stevens' mind right now?
Yeah, come on now. Badgers have it. Blake Peterson tries to dump it into Robbins. Kind of threw it out of the way, but told Kessler pushed him out of the way, and he tried to get it up over the top. No good. Turnover by the Badgers. As Sullivan takes it down the paint, he goes up and kind of gets deflected a little bit by Robbins, and Tristan Martinez comes away with it with another rebound. So Trayson Brown has it on the left-hand side, dumps it over to Blake Peterson. Blake looking inside, back to Trayson. Trayson throws it into Robbins. Robbins takes one dribble in the key turnover by Barnes, and then RJ ends up getting it back out of there again. So Blake Peterson has it on the left wing. Looking over to Trayson Brown. He's wide open here on the left baseline. Back out to Blake Peterson. Peterson dumps it into Robbins. Robbins dumps it down to RJ. RJ takes it down the baseline. No good. Gets fouled, though. Rebounded by Sullivan, but he ended up picking up a foul. I think it was on Merriweather. 15. So Merriweather ends up picking up his second foul for the Tigers, and that'll put RJ Pau on the line for 2 free throws. So RJ's first free throw's up and good.
RJ's got 12 points in this game.
Yeah. Minute into the third period. It's a good game for him. When he goes up strong to the rim, he can contort his body around pretty good. And
well, he's fast.
Yeah, super quick, and he can jump out of the roof, So second free throw's missed, though, and the Tigers end up getting a rebound out of the deal, and Sullivan has the ball on the right-hand side, dumps it down to Barnes, right baseline, tries to throw it in, gets deflected, and Martinez comes away with the steal. He's going to push it up, it gets deflected a little bit by Sullivan, but Tristan ends up kind of flipping it back to himself and goes up for 2 more points for him. That gives him 10. So there's the first part of his double-double.
That's 4 Badgers with double digits right now.
Sullivan tries to go across, switches it back to his left hand, and it loses the handle, and Blake Peterson comes away with it, and he brings it down the other end and puts it up for 2 more points for him. That'll give him 14. So everything that the Milford Tigers are trying to do right now, it's like it's just not quite working. The Badgers are getting their hands on everything. They're reading passes real well. They're closing out well. They're getting rebounds. Pretty frustrating for the Tigers right now. Barnes has the basketball. He kind of gets more. Tristan, he slipped on something down there. I don't know what happened, but
looked like it might have hurt him a little bit.
And then in the meantime, Tristan had he got the rebound, but then got it taken away from him. They dump it over to Kessler, and Kessler ends up picking up 2 points for the Tigers. Yeah, RJ's kind of that might have tweaked him just a little bit right there as he kind of did the splits. But he's got the basketball here on the left wing, dumps it out to Martinez. Martinez spins, pulls up for 2, good. 2 more points, Tristan Martinez. I mean, that was a great look on his part. Defense kind of sagged off about 1 foot, and he pulled up and got a nice little bucket out of it. Merriweather has it, dumps it over to Sullivan. Sullivan looking for Barnes coming around the baseline. He dumps it into Saavedra. Saavedra goes up. Blake Peterson tries to go up over the top of him and over the Merriweather, and Merriweather pump faked, and Blake ended up picking up the foul. He didn't really touch him very much.
He tried to miss him. I think he might have come down on that far side of him and just Created a little contact, but he was doing everything he could not to touch him.
He tried to spin his body around and kind of flop over the top of him, but in the meantime, Merriweather gets 2 free throws out of the deal, and his first one's up and no good, and he's a little bit frustrated with himself right now. So pulls up for the second free throw for him, and it's up and good. Saavedra, he grabbed the basketball, wanted it inbound, but it's Badger basketball. So Blake Peterson ends up bringing it across the timeline, kicks it over on the right-hand side to Brown. Brown back to Tristan Martinez, top of the key, over to RJ. RJ on the left-hand side, takes it back to the top of the key, over to Brown. Brown looks in for Robbins, not there, dumps it to Peterson. Peterson throws it into Robbins. Robbins had 2 guys coming up behind him. Sullivan came in from behind, and I don't think Robbins knew that he was there and ends up getting the steal. Then he goes down and tries to go up for 2, and Trayson Brown was there to kind of stop him. He did a little spin move, and Trayson ended up picking up another foul.
That'd be 3 on him.
So his third foul, that's the second team foul for the Badgers. Tigers only have 1 here, 4:43 remaining in this third period. Sullivan's first free throw's up and good. That'll give him 15, or them 15. So score 56-15. That's his 5th point for Boston Sullivan. Second free throw up and bounces off. No good. Rebounded by Saavedra. Saavedra looks in on the baseline, takes a step, goes up over the top of the bigs. No good. Rebounded by Tristan Martinez. He gets hounded by 2 or 3 of the Tigers and then takes a dribble and gets it back out to Blake Peterson. Blake pushes up pretty hard down. Whoa. They gave him a 10-second call on that. I don't think they reset the shot clock. That was fast. So something happened. Either way, the Badgers get a 10-second turnover, but something wasn't right there. That was pretty quick.
That was a quick 10.
But either way, it's going to be a turnover on the Badgers, and the Tigers are going to end up having the basketball. But I thought we were supposed to be running the clock. They're still stopping it here, but we'll see how that goes. So Saavedra has it down on the baseline, and Tristan Martinez just basically ripped it out of his hands. He kicks it out to Peterson as he pushes the pace up across there. He's going to go down in strong, goes up strong, and goes up with his left hand. He kind of got hit. And I think it's Merriweather. Merriweather going to pick up another foul here.
He didn't like that one either. He was, it was probably not. Yeah. There wasn't a lot of contact there.
Yeah, he just kind of reached in there and kind of ripped it out from behind and ended up picking up his third foul. Blake Peterson's first free throw's up and good. We got a whole bunch of Badgers checking in. So we've got Rylan Hallows, we've got Balin Wood, Rig, Brinkerhoff, and then Peyton Jackson's going to check in as well. So it looks like Peyton's going to come in for the shooter. Trayson's got to come out. We've got too many Badgers going in, and
no, they got 5 out there.
Oh, there's 5 there.
There was a little confusion. And then lots of subs.
Peyton Jackson going to check in. He's coming in for Blake. So Trayson Brown's the only one that stayed in out of that. So sub 4. As Blake made that second free throw, that gave him 16 points. So 4:09 remaining here in the third period as Barnes brings the ball up across the timeline for the Tigers, guarded by Trayson Brown. Kicks it over the left wing to Merriweather. Merriweather looking, takes it back in to the top of the key, dribbling to his right. Crosses it over. Trayson Brown kind of get his hand in the middle of that. Barnes comes away with it as he tries to go down the paint as the Badgers shut that down. He dumps it back to Merriweather on the right-hand side. Merriweather pulls up for 3. Good. So that's Keisler Merriweather for 3. That's his first bucket of the night. So Peyton Jackson has it, dumps it down to Trayson Brown. Trayson Brown out down here on the left baseline, back to Jackson, up to Brinkerhoff. Brinkerhoff over to Brown. Brown pulls up for 3. Good. 3 points. Trayson Brown. Sullivan pushes the pace up across the timeline for the Tigers pretty quick. Comes across, skips it all the way to Merriweather. Merriweather guarded by Wood. He goes down and does a nice little up and under and flips it up for 2 points for him. So that gave him a quick 5. So the last 2 buckets for Merriweather.
I've got him for 8 points.
Really?
I don't know if they've got it right up on the board.
Okay, so they might have missed a 3 somewhere. Meanwhile, Wood has it down on the baseline. He gets it taken away by Kessler, and Merriweather brings it up across the timeline for the Tigers. Sullivan takes it down the right-hand side, dumps it into Kessler, tries to go up, but it's rejected by Rylan Hallows. Jackson comes away with it, dumps it over to Brown. Brown takes it down the right-hand side, back out to Jackson. Jackson back to Brown. Brown pulls up for another 3. Good. That looked fantastic from my angle. It was coming right at us.
Yep.
So another 3 points for Trayson. That's his 16th point as well. Barnes kicks it over to Sullivan. Back to Barnes, top of the key. Waiting for the offense. He spins, takes it down at the free throw line, back to Merriweather. Merriweather into Saavedra. Saavedra for three. No good, but Sullivan kind of takes the rebound from Rick Breakerhoff, and then they go up, and somebody 40.
They give that one 32.
32.
That's
Who's that?
Rig.
Rig?
Yep.
So Rig ended up picking up the foul out of all that went around there. So.
I got concerned that ref had a 4 instead of a 3.
That's what I was a little bit
Give
worried
Ryland
right
a third
there.
foul.
I was like, my word, he wasn't even in there, but I was trying to see if he had 3 fingers up or 4.
Yeah.
So Saavedra inbounds it out to Barnes. Barnes pulls up for 3, right side, no good. Rebounded by Sullivan. Sullivan looking inside, trying to get it into Ashworth, who just checked in. Gets it over to Merriweather. Merriweather dumps it into Saavedra. Saavedra pulls up right-hand side, no good. Rebounded by Jackson. Jackson's going to push the pace, pulls it back out, takes it down the middle. Lets the offense come down and get set up. Takes it down the right-hand side, bounce pass over to Trayson Brown. He comes back to the top of the key, over to Ryland Howells. Ryland down into Rig. Rig looking inside, pump fakes back over to Ryland. Ryland back to Rig. Rig has it, tries to throw it over to Ryland, and Sullivan steps right in the middle of that pass and takes it coast to coast. No, missed the easy layup as Rig Brinkroft ends up coming away with the rebound. Gives it out to Jackson. That's too bad for Sullivan. That was a gimme.
Yeah.
So Jackson dumps it over to Brown. Brown tries to dump it into Wood. Wasn't quite ready for it. Jackson was kind of cutting in the middle of that pass, and I don't think Wood saw it really coming and ended up getting a turnover. But in the meantime, Merriweather pulls up for 3. No good. Rebounded by Sullivan. He spins around, puts it back in for 2. So with 48 seconds remaining here in the third period, Badgers up 64-22 as Trayson Brown has the basketball, kicks it over to Brinkerhoff. Brinkerhoff has it back to Brown. Brown going to pull up for another 3, just off the backside of the iron. Rebounded by Merriweather. He kicks it over to Barnes on the left-hand side. He's going to push it down. Looking for nobody picking him up. Dumps it over to Sullivan. Sullivan pump fakes, guarded by Brinkerhoff. Dumps it into Ashworth right in the middle of the key, and Ryland tried to go up and block it, missed it, and Ashworth picks up another 2 points for the Tigers. Trayson Brown comes up across the timeline, 18 seconds remaining here in this period. Jackson has it over to Brown. Brown dumps it into Wood. Wood pulls up, it's going to be short, rebounded Sullivan. So Wood kind of caught that and tried to shoot it one-handed, wasn't quite there. Sullivan tries to dump it up to Saavedra. Saavedra throws it back inbound, and the Badgers get it, and Trayson Brown tries to throw half court way short. So here we are at the end of the third period. The Badgers are up 64-24. So getting ready to start here this last period of this basketball game. It's going to be the Tigers basketball.
They will definitely have Mercy Rule running right now. I would guess 40-point lead.
Barnes has it, dumps it over to Merriweather on the right-hand side, looking for Sullivan coming across the baseline. Look to go back to Merriweather as Peterson takes it, throws it up over to Tristan Martinez.
Oh, wow.
He caught that thing behind his head with the tips of his fingers and flipped that thing up for 2 more points for him. That was pretty impressive.
That's
right
what
there.
You call a lucky roll.
That's right. So the Badgers checked a few more guys back in as Peyton Jackson gets the steal. So we've got Tristan Martinez, R.J. Powell, Hunter Robbins, Blake Peterson, and Peyton Jackson in for the Badgers. And Peyton picks up gets an easy bucket on that steal. He read that pass pretty well as Merriweather has it, dumps over to Barnes. Barnes pulls back for 3, bounces off the iron, no good. Rebounded by Ashworth. Robbins rejects to that. Sullivan kind of gets it. He tried to go into Robbins as he flew by and tried to pick up a foul and missed the bucket, but Tristan Martinez comes away with another rebound out of the deal. R.J. Powell has it on the left wing. dumps it up to Tristan Martinez, kind of a slow pass, and Barnes gets this takeaway out of that. He takes one extra dribble and goes and bounces it off the side of the backboard, so I don't think he quite knew exactly where he was. Threw it off the side of the backboard, and Badgers come away with it. And then he comes down, and Tristan Martinez kind of got a little bit lazy with it there, had it at his belly, and Barnes coming in from behind and knocked it out of his hands. In the meantime, Saavedra has it, pulls up for three, no good, rebounded by Robbins, and Blake Peterson's just going to walk it back up across the timeline. So Badgers with a 68-24 lead. Blake Peterson with the ball, top of the key, bumps it over to Jackson on the right wing, waiting for Peterson to come down baseline, looking for Robbins. Robbins got it, got his man sealed, pulls up over the top of Ashworth. Pretty easy bucket for Robbins there. Just turn around, nice little spin move, jumps up high, throws it off the backboard, in for two more points for Robbins.
That puts all 5 of your starters in double digits.
Merriweather has the basketball for the Tigers, dumps it over to Barnes. Barnes tries to throw it over to Sullivan, and RJ ended up getting the steal, and Sullivan kind of hesitated just a little bit, tried to swat on him, and RJ ended up picking up a travel violation on that hesitation thing that Sullivan did. So good defense on his part to get the basketball back to the Tigers. Barnes inbounds, looking for Merriweather, coming across, dumps it over to Sullivan. Sullivan back to Ashworth. Ashworth takes a dribble in, gets rejected from behind, and Tristan Martinez comes away with it as he dumps it up to Blake Peterson. Blake Peterson goes up for the bucket and misses it, and Kessler comes in, tips it out of bounds. It's going to be Badger basketball. So Blake set to inbounds, looking for the bigs to cross, dumps into Robbins. Robbins catches it right underneath the paint, throws it up right-handed, 2 points for him. So 12 points for Robbins here. 5 minutes remaining here in this fourth period of the basketball game as Barnes has it, dumps it over to Ashworth. Ashworth pulls up for three. No. Peyton Jackson goes up, tries to get it, and gets tipped out of bounds by Merriweather, and it's going to be Badger basketball. So we've got a bunch of Badgers checking in. Rylan Hallows is going to come in. RJ Powell stays in. We got Rig Brinkerhoff, and then we
Connor Edwards.
We got Connor Edwards checked in as well. Jackson brings the basketball up across the timeline, dumps it over to Brinkerhoff. Brinkerhoff down to Jackson, looking for Edwards to get open. He gets in there, takes it down, spins. Might have got away with the travel, but either way, he comes up with 2 points.
Yeah, I think he took a step.
So Kessler inbounds over to Sullivan. That's a 74-24 lead for the Badgers. Sullivan with the basketball, guarded by RJ, dumps over to Merriweather. He's guarded by Jackson, takes down left-hand side behind the back dribble, comes back up across the top to Sullivan. Sullivan guarded by Brinkerhoff, dumps it into Ashworth. Ashworth goes up strong against Rylan Howells. Rylan knocks him on his keister, but they kind of just went together at the same time.
Yeah,
but that defense is not going to get a good call out of that deal.
Rylan came off his feet. I think if he would have just stood right there and kept his arms up, he'd have been fine.
So that's his third personal foul. 3:49 remaining here in the basketball game as Jackson Ashworth sets to shoot his first free throw. And it's up, no good, bounced off the back iron. Ashworth's second free throw up, good. Jackson brings it up across the timeline for the Badgers. Throws it over to the left wing to RJ. RJ pump fakes, looking in, takes a dribble back to Jackson. Jackson wide open on three-point line, no good, nothing. Gives it over to RJ. RJ back to Brinkerhoff. Brinkerhoff looking for the cutter. Dumps it into Rylan Hallows. He's going to go up strong, not there. He kind of got cut off. He was a little bit low. Dumps it back out to RJ. RJ back to Brinkerhoff. Brinkerhoff back to Jackson. Jackson into Edwards. Edwards spin, wide open over to RJ. RJ going to shoot. No, going to take it in strong. Goes up, spins his body around a little bit, throws it up. 2 more points for RJ. That's 14 for him. As Barnes comes across for the Tigers, dumps over to Merriweather, looking for Sullivan. Badgers cover that. Merriweather guarded by Brinkerhoff. Over to Barnes. Barnes looking in. Sullivan coming across baseline. He tried to get Rylan to jump this time. Nope, stayed on his feet. Dumps it over to Barnes. Barnes tries to get Rylan up, and he stayed down 2 times that time. And Rick Brinkerhoff ends up coming away with the rebound, but then he tries to throw it over, kind of a sloppy, slow pass. Sullivan saw that coming for a second and ended up catching it and going up. Did they count that hoop, or was it down?
They said it was down.
So he fouled him on the spin. He ended up making the basket, but they called it down. It's going to be Tigers basketball underneath. So that's Rig's second foul. Tigers looking, get it out to Ashworth. Ashworth pulls up for three, gets deflected by RJ, but Sullivan comes away with it, and he pump fakes and gets Jackson and Edwards up in the air and puts it up for 2 more points for him. RJ has the basketball, dumps it over to Brinkerhoff on the right-hand side, looking into the high post, not there. RJ's wide open, baseline, pulls up for 3, no good. Rebounded Edwards. Edwards tries to go up, deflected by Ashworth, gets his ball back to the same thing and puts it back up. 2 more points for Connor Edwards. That guy's just so long. He's got long arms. He can kind of just, he doesn't really have to bring it down. He just shoots it right over the top of everybody, and he's a pretty good shooter. In the meantime, Sullivan takes it right down the paint. None of the Badgers step over to stop that, and he gets another 2 points as Brinkerhoff has it, dumps it over to RJ at the top of the key. Back over to Jackson on the right wing. He takes a couple dribbles down, might have got away with the travel, dumps it into Rylan Howells. Perfect position for him, puts it up with his right hand, 2 points for him. So the Badgers have an 80-29 lead here with 1:23 remaining in the game. Merriweather takes it down the paint, going to go up against Rylan. Rylan going to go up. He just is so aggressive that he just wants to block so bad, and he ends up picking up his 4th foul. I'm going to let him roll, though. Let him roll. Got a minute remaining. Let him go.
I saw that one coming a mile away.
Too. Valen Wood checks in for Jackson. It's going to be Tiger basketball. The clock is still running. The more time these guys waste trying to get it inbound, the faster this game gets over, and we got a couple more Badgers checking in. Tigers inbound. Merriweather with the basketball. Dumps it back into Barnes. Barnes guarded by Rylan. Tries to throw it out. Dumps it out to Lamberth, who checked in. Dumps it into Sullivan. Sullivan down into Kessler. Kessler tried to dump it down into Barnes, and Brinkerhoff was there. Then he throw it right back to Sullivan, and Sullivan pulls up for 3-pointer. So Rigg just kind of threw that. Didn't even really look. He was looking at and gave it right back to Sullivan. He pulled up for 3-pointer. So RJ has the basketball on the left wing. Up to Brinkerhoff, top of the key, back to RJ. Rylan working his guts up down in there, tries to throw it over to Connor. Connor goes up to shoot it and got it blocked by Barnes, and the Tigers are come away with it as Sullivan's going to push it down there, try to get in an extra 2 points before the end of the game, and he's going to end up getting some free throws out of the deal. So RJ picks up another foul, and that's going to give Sullivan another opportunity for 2 more points. Sullivan's got quite a bunch of points tonight. We'll have to tell you here in just a minute, but he'll have an opportunity for 2 more. He's a pretty good basketball player, but his first free throws misses.
Yeah, he's averaging 19 per game, and it looks like right now he's got 14.
So, yeah, this one would give him 15 right here. So we got a few more Badgers checking in. We got EJ checked in, and also Teagan.
And also Ryder.
Oh, and then Ryder. Yep, Ryder checked in as well. So the second free throw also was up and good. So he ended up with 14 points tonight. Ball was deflected out of bounds, and that's going to be the ball game. So here we go. The Badgers come away with a win, 80-32 against the Milford Tigers.
Pretty good win for the Badgers. Badgers are starting to make some statements here in Region 20. They're playing these good games against these region teams, and they're coming away with convincing wins.
Trying to come up with a game plan to stop all these weapons that the Badger has right now, man, that would be rough. So
they're big. You've got Hunter and Tristan, and then Rylan also is a big.
And Blake's not little.
No, Blake's not small. He's probably just maybe a shade under 6.
Right, and so
But then it's speed too.
Yeah, it's super fast. They're reading the passes very well right now. They're stepping in the lanes, and then these guys are getting these rebounds because they're so big. But that outlet pass that they're dumping it out to Trayson Brown, dumping it over to RJ. RJ comes out of 14 points tonight, and that was a lot of those was fast break points and going hard to the hole and just scoring. He can score when he goes up and goes for it. He's going to score.
It's heads up basketball. RJ and Tristan, they're noticing when that ball's going to come down. Well, and it's a pretty good chance it's going to come down to either Hunter or Tristan. So they're just taking off the second that ball goes up, and they're catching a lot of these teams flat-footed.
Yeah, and those guys are looking to throw it. As soon as they catch it, they're looking first thing. They're not just throwing it; they're looking down there and making sure it's open first.
Yeah, they're not Hail Mary passes. Yeah. I mean, these are designed.
These are good passes.
These are things they're drawing up in practice, and it's working out, and we're seeing it game after game. and it's really working out for the Badgers.
You know, and they've started moving Blake down onto the baseline now, and they're going that high post with the look on the baseline play, dumping it into the post. And you know, there's a lot of good things that the Badgers are doing right now, both on the offensive sets, the fast breaks, the rebounds, the whole board. Man, they're and now they've incorporated that press on top of that. That's tough, man.
It's fun to watch. It's fun to watch.
I'm glad we're on the side of cheering for the Badgers.
Yeah, it's fun to have two teams right now, both the boys and the girls, where they're both leading the region. They're both playing good ball. They're just both playing it at really high levels right now, which is when you want it. You want it right now as you're heading into the thick of region play. Both teams are looking pretty good, and hopefully right here as we go to this last third of the season, they can keep playing at this level. And yeah, I wouldn't want to play either one of these teams right now.
Yeah, so in the meantime, you know, you guys might want to tune in tomorrow. Both the boys and the girls go down to. We're going over to Paiute for the sophomore tournament. So the girls play at 10 o'clock in the morning, and I think the boys play at 7. Is that right, Jared?
Boys play at 7:30.
7:30 at night. So, yeah, and I think those will all be broadcast on Team Hive, I believe. Is that what the Thunderbirds run theirs on?
Yeah, at least in the main gym.
Right.
And I think first day all the games are in the main gym.
Right.
Second day they'll have games running in the main gym and the auxiliary. I don't know if they'll stream out of the auxiliary, but hopefully we don't have to worry about that, and our teams will play the main gym the whole time.
Stay in the main gym. So yeah, if you want to tune in and watch the sophomores and the freshmen play tomorrow, you can tune in over at that 10 o'clock over to Paiute High School.
At Team Hive, and then we've also right now want to give a shout out to our wrestlers. They're in Tintic tonight. I didn't have that on the schedule when I announced last night, but they're in Tintic right now, and then they'll be in Milford Friday and Saturday. So busy week for the Badgers.
Weekend for them.
A lot of traveling, and then that should round out the week. So our next broadcast will be, I think we got the boys. Boys are on the road next week.
Yeah, so boys the girls. We go to Bryce Valley.
So we don't have any home games next week.
You get a break.
So what a nice thought. Well, let me look. I might have to do wrestling.
Yeah, there might be a wrestle here.
We got home wrestling on the 22nd. So
that's good.
We'll broadcast that one on the 22nd. So that'll be our next broadcast. We'll have Penguins Bobcats here wrestling on a week from tonight. But then the boys next week go to Valley Wednesday, and then Penguins on Friday, and the girls go to, where are you going next week? So you're going to Bryce Valley. So a few trips down into Garfield County next week for some more region play, and should be a good time. But yeah, great win tonight for the Badgers, 80-32. I didn't really read any stats.
There was a lot.
Our kids scored a lot of points. How about that? All of our starters were in double digits. Well, we can do it right here. So we'll just start at the bottom of this lineup card and go up. Ryland had 2. Hunter had 12. Trayson had 4 3-pointers tonight. He had 12, 14, 16 for Trayson. Payton had a pair. Connor Edwards had 4. Blake had, I think he came out with 15 or 16. What do you have there? 3, 6, 14, 15, 16 for him. Tristan with 10, 14. And I've got him unofficially at 7 rebounds. I think I might have missed 1 or 2 there, so he was pretty close to his double-double. And then RJ had 4, 10. 14. They got him up there for 14. But that's what I got. So 14 for him. So high-powered offense tonight for the Badgers. Over on the Tigers side, Boston Sullivan led all of them with 14. And then a handful throughout the rest of the lineup. So good night for the Badgers. We'll leave it there, and then we'll be back next week for wrestling, and then tell them, go Badgers. Thanks, Coach.
Yep, you're welcome.